Dismantled. For spare parts, Russians attack with their best tanks and worst warbikes, and run into heavily armed Ukrainian paratroopers.
This post received a score of 3,700, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Greater than one Russian survivor sought shelter in the ruins of a battle-damaged building, only to get pulverized by a Ukrainian Air Force fighter lobbing a satellite-guided bomb. R. For Q in particular.
Pilot, I brought this shit all the way out here. I'm not taking it back, so just eat it.
If I recall correctly, that's actually a thing. You don't want to land with ordnance if possible.
It is for FPV drones but not fighter jets. Once the drone's explosives are armed, it's a one-way trip because it's too dangerous to retrieve. Manned military aircraft can safely land with munitions on board. Although considering how often Russia bombs its own cities, their air force may have different standards.
A sorta. At times a fighter can take off with more ordnance than it's safe to land with. But this is typically at max capacity and fighters aren't sent out that loaded down unless they are certain to need all the ordnance.
The loss of most human life is regrettable, but you didn't have to go there, Russia, did you?
Lol, no sympathy. Stay home and alive.
And get your government to quit being so hostile. God damn, the West doesn't want your land. We want a trusty trade partner. We can all benefit.
Good grief. Yes. How many times I thought during the past 2 years, Putin and his oligarchs could have just grown richer and fatter from the Russian public could enjoy all the stuff from the West.
No, you don't get it. Russian oligarchs don't pay full price, the people pay full price, they get free 50 off.
There, turtle, tanks are some legit Mad Max Fury Road shit.
I have been seeing these canopies on tanks recently. What is it for? To deter drone attacks somehow? Edit. Okay, I just learned all about the evolution of turtle tanks. This is truly wild.
The drones being used against them trigger their explosives on impact. I theory, the large cage net causes the drones to trigger when they hit the cage. Even though that is still really close to the tank, it is still a considerably effective mitigation of damage. It's much better to have an explosion a few feet from a turret versus an explosion between a turret and the main tank body.
It's not just about distance either. There's probably a lot of energy dissipation, reflection when the material shatters. Same basic principle as a modern car bumper. Tank armor is supposed to last, but a dome is sacrificial, so it doesn't need to be nearly as strong or thick to be effective. It's one-time use.
To add on, a lot of tanks now have jammers fitted, which means that the drone gets wasted because the only attack vector the drone has is straight on at ground level. Without the turtle shell, the pilot could account for signal loss on final approach and put the drone into a forward fall that still strikes the tank on the top. The shell denies this tactic to an extent.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.